Hey guys. Hello and welcome back to Dylan and Ross Safe Sports. I am your host, as always, Dylan Sanders. You can find me on Twitter at Dilly Sanders, and then joining me today, as always, is Ross Jackson. Who you can find on Twitter at Ross Jackson Nola. How you doing today, Ross?
Oh man, that was hysterical.
Hey guys.
That made me laugh so much. Like right after that big epic intro. Oh, so good.
Oh man.
So good. Oh, I'm doing well, man. Glad to be here with you as always. I'm doing good. How about you? How's everything going for you?
Good. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, you have an exciting day today because you're watching at right now. It's also just started. Tell us about what you're watching.
I'm watching the PlayStation State of Play, Ross. Right,
So
it's right next to me.
yeah. So what are some of the things that you're expecting from this or that you're hoping to see from this?
The only thing I know is going to happen is Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Well, Horizon Forbidden West, Horizon 2.
Horizon 1 Dusk. Yeah, I remember.
Ross, why is it our favorite joke to just say the opposite?
I don't know. We do that a lot, don't we?
We do that all the time.
I'm not smart enough to know what the opposite of Horizon is.
Yeah.
But I know the opposite of Zero, which is anything, and I know the opposite of Dusk, or of Dawn, which is Dusk.
So right now they're talking. They're finally talking about the new Crash game getting a PlayStation 5 version.
Nice. Okay.
All right, so that's the first thing they're talking about. Starting off easy. We'll probably get another thing for Ratchet and Clank as well, but that's all I really know is going to happen.
Nice. More Diablo talk, perhaps? I know that they kind of did that at BlizzCon, so I don't know if they're also going to do that for this.
But I know you like Diablo, so
I do. I'm more excited about Diablo 4 than I am excited about the remastered version of Diablo 2. Diablo 2 doesn't really matter to me. But I'm very excited about Diablo 4 for sure.
Ross, I have something for favorite thing from Twitter.
Oh, please go right ahead.
So we're gonna play a little Mad Libs, Ross.
Oh, okay, excellent.
All right. Give me a musical artist.
Neo.
All right, give me another musical artist and a song that they wrote. Different genre.
Shakira, Hips Don't Lie.
And then give me a company.
Baskin Robbins.
All right. So let's compare it to the headline that was released today.
Okay.
All right. So we have Neo has released a cover of Shakira's Hips Don't Lie for Baskin Robbins' 25th anniversary. And the real headline, Ross, is Post Malone has released a cover of Hootie and the Blowfish's 1995 hit Only Wanna Be With You for Pokemon's 25th anniversary, which does not sound any more real.
You really could do that with any artist, any song, any company, and be totally fine. I had heard that Post Malone had done that, but I did not know that it was the 25th anniversary of Pokemon.
Yeah. Bad Bunny has released a cover of Mariah Carey's 1995 hit song Fantasy for the end of Operation Desert Storm's 25th anniversary.
Oh, no.
Macklemore has released a cover of Vanessa Williams' Color of the Wind for Gary Kasparov beating Deep Blue at Chess's 25th anniversary.
Jeez. These are so good.
Grimes released a cover of Weezer Say It Ain't So for the Bosnian Peace Agreement's 25th anniversary.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, these are great.
I absolutely love it. That's so good. I do not have a favorite thing from Twitter today, except for what will be our first topic of the show. But that's easily my other favorite thing from Twitter today for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's awesome.
I love it. Do you have a performance of the day today?
Let's see. Let me look through. Um, what happened yesterday? I was at work. Um, Shout out to the Rockets for continuing to tank for Cade Cunningham.
Things are going well.
I'm all for it. Because this team's obviously not winning anything, so might as well try and get your pick back. Right? Cade Cunningham, James Harden, and Kevin Porter Jr. rotation in the backcourt is going to be real nasty in a couple of years.
Oh, because James Harden's coming back to Houston at some point, right?
Oh, 100% he is, yeah. There's no doubt, Ross. Because he tweeted out about how much he loves Houston. And everyone knows whenever a player tweets about a city that they like or are tied to in some way, that obviously means they're going to their respective sporting team.
I hear a small drip of sarcasm in your statement, but I'm having trouble understanding what you're being sarcastic about, because this sounds foolproof to me.
Marshawn Lattimore of the New Orleans Saints tweeted out about how much he loves like Cleveland and does still a lot of. He's from Cleveland, does a lot of charity in Cleveland, and Saints fans got upset and Browns fans got really happy. And let me tell you, both of those are dumb reactions, because lest the Browns fans forget, they already have to pay Denzel Ward. So why would you then want to trade for another cornerback that you also have to pay?
It doesn't make sense.
At the same time, it makes no sense. No. Why would you want to give out two $90 million contracts in the same position?
It's wild. Although I would say, if you're going to do it for a pair of corners, it's a pretty damn good pair of corners.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
But still. My real deal performance of the day goes to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ross, 42 points,
Oof.
8 rebounds, 4 assists, 13 of 20 shooting. And Ross, I think he got an assist. The Thunder won on the last second 3 by Lu Dort. So shout out to the Thunder.
Love it.
Shout out to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Good stuff. I have to stick with Zion Williamson. I'm going to keep on Zion Williamson because the front page, if you go to ESPN right now, you go to ESPN.com and you go to NBA, the very first thing is an article about how this Zion Williamson superstar leap is astounding. And it's very, very true that it's absolutely astounding. Last night, 32 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, on their way to a 128-118 victory over the Detroit Pistons. I'm going to keep on the Zion Williamson train here because he has been absolutely incredible, averaging over 25 points a game, averaging over 60% from the field. He's playing really, really well right now. And he's a all-star reserve for the super spreader all-star game upcoming.
And Ross, tonight on TNT, we're getting Pelicans Bucks.
Pelly's Bucks, baby.
Pelly Buck.
I'm looking forward to that one.
We're also getting tonight, Ross, major matchup that everybody's been waiting for. Kings Knicks and Magic Nets.
Elite matchups.
Yeah.
Can I also shout out Luka Doncic for dropping two step back 3-pointers to secure a win?
Yes, dude. Luka, man.
He was so good.
What a dude.
It was so good.
What a dude. That's just nasty. He's really just unfair, I think.
He really is. Like, he's just one of those guys that, like, remember when Dante Hall was in the NFL?
Nope.
And he was returning punts or returning kicks, and he was just, they called him the human joystick, and no one could touch him. He was just a cheat code, basically. Like when Michael Vick was, a Falcon. just an absolute cheat code, and that's what Luka Doncic feels like at times in the NBA.
Yeah, man, Marvin Bagley really got drafted above Luka.
Isn't that wild?
People really overthought with Luka.
Yeah.
Insane.
Just go with the guys that are good. Do you think the same thing is going to happen to Luka Garza coming into the NBA?
I don't. He's not going to be anywhere near Luka.
He's not going to be as good as Doncic, right?
Yeah. No.
At least not as quickly as Luka has done it.
Yeah. No. It's. I don't know. Luka Garza is really an interesting case.
Tell us what's interesting about Luka Garza, Dylan.
He can score, but I don't really know how. Like, I don't know. He's not at all. He's like a fringe first rounder.
Right. Do
I
you
saw
think
a mock draft with him that didn't get him drafted at all.
Oh wow. Do you have any thoughts on his defense?
No, because I don't think he thinks about it either.
So, do you think, given 5 possessions, could you score on Luka Garza?
I would almost as easy as I would score on Trae Young. No, I couldn't because he's taller than me.
Oh, I see. That's the problem.
Yes, I'm taller than Trae.
Right.
So I the little man can't stop me.
Oh no! Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna have this beef with Trae Young for forever, and then one day I'm gonna have a chance to go 1-on-1 with him for 5 possessions and try to score.
I
can't keep him from scoring.
Sure, no, but you never made that claim.
No, but I will say, Ross, I got the jumper, and I can knock it down over the tiny, tiny man that is Trae Young.
I can't wait for the day that you finally get to go 1-on-1 with Trae Young.
Oh, and I brick 5 straight through.
Oh my goodness,
Ross! If I ever get the chance to go up 1-on-1 against Trae Young and I make a basket, you owe me something.
I owe you a lot. I owe you a lot.
Firstly, an apology.
Yeah, very public apology.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably at least $100.
At least. At least.
Oh man.
No, it's been fun watching basketball. You know what's not been fun?
What's that?
It's not been fun being a Seahawks fan for some people.
No. I don't think the Seahawks are doing great this morning. Seahawks fans this morning. Although, like, Seahawks fans should feel okay. So let's dive into it. It is our top story today. Russell Wilson and the sort of situation going on in Seattle has kind of boiled over a little bit, I guess you could say.
Oh wait, I did not see this whole Cam Jordan thing.
Oh, I didn't see it either.
From this morning?
No.
From Last Word on Sports? Cam Jordan said that Sean Payton said that Jameis Winston will replace Drew Brees.
Oh, well, there you go. We will see.
Yeah. Okay. He appeared on the Great Dane Nation podcast, and Cam Jordan said Jameis Winston is up next, is what I believe Sean Payton said.
Okay. So
I don't know.
Nothing new. Nothing new. Because we think maybe that Jameis Winston's going to be the guy, but let's just say maybe another franchise quarterback somewhere were to be on the market and name the New Orleans Saints as a part of their short list of 4 teams they'd be willing to be traded to. How does that factor in? And could that ever happen?
I don't think so. But like, let's talk about the situation. If Russell Wilson were to say
very specifically,
this is just completely. First name that came to mind. Russell Wilson were to say, "Oh, hey, let's see. I don't really necessarily hate it here, but if I were to, the Saints, Bears, Dolphins, Jets would all be possible for me."
And let's also say that news were to have broken this morning, you have to imagine the Saints would be interested, right? They would be
Oh
interested in being like,
yes.
"Hey, well, let's talk. Let me give you a call right quick and see about
Uh-huh.
how we can get you over here in the Big Easy." Um, what have I told you, Dylan? That wasn't a fantasy at all, and that is indeed what happened today.
Wow, I would be crazy because, like, what if also then a story came out about how Russell Wilson tried to fix the offense and he stormed out of the meeting room?
Stormed out of the meeting room. And on top of that, what if after the Super Bowl, he went to the Seattle Seahawks and said, "Hey, I want to figure out how we're going to fix, what is your plan for fixing this offensive line?" And then they were like, "Hey,
We're gonna
either
draft a fourth round quality linebacker.
linebacker instead." And either they didn't give him an answer that he liked or didn't give him a clear answer at all. And then he was also pissed off about that. What if that also happened?
And Ross, what if he then went to social media and posted a video calling himself Mr. Unlimited?
Okay, well, that did happen. But just like that, Mr. Unlimited video, all of these other things we mentioned did indeed also happen. And now there's a lot of trade rumors and trade speculation swirling around Russell Wilson potentially being dealt from the Seattle Seahawks. And the four teams that he named, there's really six teams that have all been named today. There's the Jets and the Dolphins, and then a more recent report that mentioned the Saints, the Cowboys, the Bears, and the Raiders as four teams that they would be willing to consider a trade to. At the same time, though, in the same breath, mentioning that Russell Wilson is not demanding a trade. So this feels a little bit more like a power play more than anything else, but also setting yourself up to where it's like, hey, if you don't want to give me more power, you don't want to give me more say in the franchise, then this becomes an opportunity for Russell Wilson to maybe get himself into a better situation than the one that he had in Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's a bad idea at all to be like, hey, by the way, there's this whole Deshaun Watson thing. I kind of agree with him.
Yeah, I know. I completely agree. Deshaun Watson, by the way, having had a conversation with the head coach, the new head coach there, David Culley, and that he's still digging his heels in, that he does not intend to play another game for the Houston Texans. So he is also still somebody that is actively putting himself on the market this offseason.
He is actively being like, get me
very
out.
different two different scenarios, right? One of them that's kind of playing it a little bit more coy and like, hey, if this were to happen, here are some of these scenes. And then Deshaun Watson just being like, get me the hell out of here now.
It's the Eric Andre. It's like, let me in, but instead it's, get me out.
Yes, exactly right.
There's been a lot of quarterback talk today, Ross. Did you see Mel Kiper's mock draft?
I did see Mel Kiper's mock draft.
All right, let's go through it, Ross. At number one, shocking. He said the Jacksonville Jaguars were to be taking Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, no big surprise there. Actually, you know what? Before we get into that, let me just ask you real quick. Bears, Raiders, Saints, and Dolphins?
Ross,
no, Cowboys.
Ross, you know Cowboys. The answer to this question.
No. Which team has the best chance to actually land Russell Wilson if Russell Wilson were to be traded?
Dolphins or Jets. It's just the teams with the most assets.
Yeah, I would put up, but of the four teams that the agent named, which were the Cowboys, Bears, Saints, and Raiders, which of those four do you think has the best chance?
None of them really have.
None of
them have money or assets.
I would say that the Raiders out of those four have the best chance because they have the 3 first-round picks. They have a quarterback that they can trade in either Derek Carr or Marcus Mariota. Have a little bit of cap space. And are in the AFC, right? So you're trading him out of the conference as opposed to trading him within the conference. So I think that that's a little bit of a consideration. I never believe that that's a huge consideration, but that's kind of what I look at. But the New Orleans Saints are number one in terms of the best possible fit for him.
Oh, they've been having a short quarterback they can't see over the offensive line for years now, so they're ready for it.
They've proven they can work with that. They've proven that they can work with a mobile quarterback as well.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff.
Yeah, Jameis Winston. And listen. Taysom Hill would do great in a Seahawks offense.
Hey, Pete Carroll would love him. Pete Carroll would love him because Pete Carroll would just want to snap the ball and run up the middle every damn play.
Exactly.
And
That's
Taysom Hill
all.
would be
That's
all about
all
that.
Taysom should do.
Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and jump to the mock draft.
All right. So let's see. Ross, number 1 overall, Trevor Lawrence. Shocker. Number 2, the Atlanta Falcons trade up and get, hold your breath, Ross, Zach Wilson.
Justin Fields.
No.
Should be Justin Fields.
Yes, it should be, but they didn't. Number 3, the Miami Dolphins select Devonta Smith.
Oh, interesting. Despite Devonta Smith clearly taking shots at Tua Tagovailoa the other day.
Yep. Number 4, now that they traded back, Zach Wilson's there. Justin Fields is still there at 4 for the Jets to take, Ross. So they take Kyle Pitts.
Oh, Lord.
Number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals select Penei Sewell. Number 6, Philadelphia Eagles take Jamar Chase. And then at number 7, the San Francisco 49ers trade up.
Oh, here it is.
And then they take Justin Fields.
About damn time.
All right, and then at number 8, Ross, the Carolina Panthers are here. And then they take the next best quarterback, who is, of course,
Trey Lance.
Mac Jones. And then at 9, the Patriots trade up, and they select they select Trey Lance.
Wow.
And then at 10, the Cowboys get Patrick Surtain. All right.
So that's 4 trades to land quarterbacks. Is that right?
3.
Nope. Right, because Carolina didn't move.
Yes.
Carolina didn't move. So 3 trades to move up to grab quarterbacks in the top 10.
Ooh,
and
they're
5
showing a
quarterbacks
trailer
going in
for
the
a
top
game
10.
that I've been wanting for a long time.
What game?
Called Death Loop.
Oh, the name doesn't tell me a lot. It tells me that there's death and that there are loops.
Well, Ross, once I explain the premise of the game, you play as an assassin who keeps dying and is trying to complete the same mission.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
It's a death loop. All right. Hey, what other interesting selections were there in that Mel Kiper mock draft? Because there was a very interesting one late in the first round.
All right. So the Detroit Lions take Michael Parsons. Sean Slater drops to 13 to the Chargers, which that would be a fantastic pick.
It's a great pick for Los Angeles.
Let's see. At number 19, Christian Darrisaw. Our boy, the guy, Christian Darrisaw. Bears take Kadarius Toney. At 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Landon Dickerson.
No, I like that too much. I like that way too much.
Kadarius Toney.
I like that way too much.
Then the Ravens take Terrace Marshall, and then at 28, Ross, the Saints take Jason Owa. And let me read you their excerpt about Jason Owa.
Yes, please. Thank you.
And it might fill a role. Maybe he fills a role the Saints don't have. The Saints don't have a player like Jason Owa, Ross. Yes, I'm projecting an edge rusher in round 1 who had 0 sacks last season, but turn on the tape, he gets to the quarterback and applies pressure, even if he doesn't close out on them. Now, do the Saints have anybody, or that they even spent a first-round pick on their roster, Ross, that fills that role of not getting sacks, but getting close, getting pretty close?
There is certainly someone that has gotten that criticism.
But did they even spend 1 first-round pick on him, Ross?
But yeah, after the Saints traded up to get him and spent 2 first-round picks on that player.
Wow.
As much as I love that player and I want to see him succeed, it is very true that they have had some issues. He has had some issues closing when getting to the quarterback. So Mel Kiper's logic of going and drafting another one of those guys just seems a little flawed.
But whatever. Then my boy Walker Little, who I had going in the first round 3 years ago, Ross. is now
Nice.
going listed going at 31st overall to the Kansas City Chiefs.
There were a lot of interesting selections in the bottom of the first round there.
Yeah.
And I think that happens a lot, right? That's where the Noah Igbinogheni's, the Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's, like that's where those players tend to happen, to where those guys that maybe don't have first round grades sneak into the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the ones that are based on just filling individual position needs and things like that. But I don't rule out edge rusher for the Saints, but I think that probably Azeez Ojulari would have made more sense than Jackie Owa because of the lack of production.
Yeah, I like Jason Owa, but again, not a lot of production.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Owa, I feel like with the lack of production, you feel like you can probably maybe get a little bit later than in the first round. So I don't know though. You know, we don't know what they're hearing and what folks are saying. And we also don't know how free agency is going to shake out either, because obviously that will be a huge part of it. So we've got some more things to hit here in just a moment. We got more on the way, but let's go ahead and jump into our break here. Dylan and Ross Say Sports. We'll be back here in just a moment. Full Press Radio, full press coverage. Boop.
Boop.
On the break.
On the break. On the break. They say I'm on the break. Man. Ross.
Yo.
WandaVision tonight.
We get it.
Well, I'm going to watch it tonight. You're going to be a loser and wait until tomorrow.
Yeah, probably. Because that doesn't come out until what time?
It'll be midnight your time.
Yeah, no, I'll be asleep.
Loser.
I'll be mad asleep.
Loser.
Zher.
Loser.
Oh man. What a day. Right. How much for time?
Did you see the clip of Steven Adams last night?
Oh yeah, when he tried to like kip up and couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Nothing crazy on PlayStation right now. We're getting a trailer for the second part of the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in 3 parts. So they just got to release a trailer for the second part, which comes out in June.
I just want a PS5.
Get one.
Can't.
It's that easy.
They ain't nowhere.
Teams now leaving trade offers on Texans voicemail.
Yeah, because they're like not answering the phone anymore. And so like teams are like, we'll give you 3 first 2 seconds in a. Yeah, what I mean.
Hey, buddy. Hey, okay, let's do this. What do we think? We got to play this game right now, Ross. Bonus content. What is the Texans voicemail message?
Texas voicemail message is probably, thank you very much for calling the Houston Texans. We are unavailable to take calls at this time because you won't stop calling about Deshaun Watson. We will not be trading him, but please feel free to leave a message with your name and your number. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or it's just like this, right? You call and it's like ring, 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 ring. No. Beep. Like, that's it.
No, this is what I think it is. All right, you call the Texans.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Hey, this is Nick Caserio.
Hey, Nick, listen, I got a question for you.
Yeah, just got you. No, psych, I'm not listening to your trade offer. Leave a message in the beat. Bye.
Just get mad childish about it.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, we are back. All right, everybody.
That's when I said.
What'd you say, Dylan?
That's not Russell Wilson. That's a lawn gnome.
I hate when that's rude. It's very rude. That's wild rude. Oh man, I love it. The
rest of that story is available in the bonus content.
That's That's right. How's everything going as we come back here, top of the second half hour? Or yeah, second half hour. That's right, bottom half hour. What is happening with PlayStation's event so far?
Still talking about Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, but the people that are listening didn't hear the Final Fantasy VII. You
Oh,
talking about Final Fantasy VII?
yeah. So they announced the second part of the multiple part remake of Final Fantasy VII.
There you go. Wow,
And they said they're trying a trailer for it.
what a
And
time!
then talking about all the features. And then now I think they just no, it's just another trailer for it. I thought they were about to yeah, okay. And now it's saying that the PS4 version, they just released the PS5 version.
Got it. Got it. All right. So let's talk a little bit about a draft visit that you got really excited about yesterday. Not just specifically for a specific team, which obviously got you very excited, but also the specific player.
Yes. So it came out yesterday. The list of teams that Rondell Moore has visited. And Ross, I gotta be real. Okay, so let's look at this list.
I have it right here.
I have it too.
Okay, go for it.
Let's do one. Well, I'll do one. You say one. All right.
No, just read the list.
The Seahawks, the 49ers, the Saints, the Broncos, the Colts, the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Jets, the Washington football team, and the Chargers. And then already scheduled are the Titans and Packers.
And those are the Titans and Packers are scheduled to show up in March. The Purdue's Pro Day is March 23rd. To continue to keep up with it. So what is it about Rondell Moore that makes him so special?
Oh, the broadcast ended. There wasn't really anything that much today. I don't even think they showed Horizon Forbidden West.
Horizon One Dusk didn't show up today? Is it a multi-day event?
No.
That's it?
They just drop them randomly.
They just did 33 minutes and that was it?
Yeah. It wasn't much today.
That's them. Well, anyway, Rondell Moore. What makes him so special?
Let's see. It's the fact that he is a 5'9", 190 pound receiver. Let's give him the weight let's give him whatever weight he can get. 5'9", 190 pound receiver that runs like Derrick Henry and has the play style of Michael Thomas.
He's a really intriguing prospect because of what he's able to do at his size. Like you look at him and you think he's a speedy, kind of elusive guy, and he is, but he also has all of these other tools available to him.
He squats 600 pounds, Ross.
Ugh.
He squats 3 of himself. Over 3 of himself.
I looked at his recruiting info on ESPN that showed that he ran a 4.33 40 and jumped 42.7 inches coming into college.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to imagine he's probably going to be around that, if not better than that, going into college.
In the 4.2s, Ross.
He's a first rounder. He's a first rounder. What do NFL teams love, Dylan?
4.2.
4.2 40s.
It doesn't matter what else. But Ross, if he can do a 4.2 40, have that insane vertical for being 5'9", and then go out and then I wonder how many bench reps he gets.
Right.
He has the potential to just be it. Well, he would have been a combine freak, Ross.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to be like a pro day star?
I think he can do it all.
It's pretty incredible.
The only thing is, like, the dude's so good. The only thing is, that is like his weird injury history where we don't really know why he was, because he was supposedly healthy, but we don't really know why he was off the field for so long. I don't know. But I think some NFL team is going to fall. I think he's going to go in the first. I think some NFL team is going to fall in love with just how insane of a prospect he is.
There's no way that some team doesn't. Like some team is gonna do it for sure.
Mm-hmm. And Ross, I hope it's the Saints so bad. You know.
Yeah,
Let's
talked
compare.
About. Yeah,
I was going to say let's compare the Brandon Cook, because Brandon Cooks is like one of the outliers and the closest thing I could find to a Saints pick of Rondale Moore. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Because normally they go for the big body. They go the Michael Thomases. They go they didn't draft him, but like Jawan Johnson.
Right. Let me set the scene for you just in terms of averages of what the Saints have done with the 9 wide receivers that they've drafted since 2006. For the first round receivers, or not first round receivers, but all of the receivers. So the couple of different things to look at are going to be build. 73-inch height is around where they are, which is about 6'1", 6'2". It was like 73.7. And then the average weight was about 206 pounds. And then a couple of other things to look at are the dominator percentage and the target percentage, where the average is about 35.5% and dominator target is around 25.5%. So those are the averages for for the 9 receivers that the Saints have drafted since 2006. Those aren't far off the averages for first round wide receivers in general either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So let's look. And then let's take a look at the college dominator comparing Rondale Moore and Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks had a 38.9% college dominator, which absurd.
Insane.
38.7.
Usually at his size and at the school he was at that loves to do nothing more than throw the ball.
Yeah. And then Rondale Moore, college dominator, 36.7.
Also insane. Especially considering he opted out of half of the most recent season and missed time.
Yeah. He basically played one season.
Right.
1.5 seasons, basically.
It's insane.
And again, that one season was good enough to land him on the Big Ten's all-decade team. That's how good he was whenever he was healthy. College, the yards per reception, Ross. 13.5 for Brandon Cooks and for Rondale Moore, 9.4. I bring that up because it's, again, how Rondale Moore was used. He was used throwing the ball to him 5 yards down the field and then just let him work. Like, he would end up with games of like 13 catches, 90 yards.
That's a really good point. It's a really good point that he wasn't just like a deep threat like Brandon Cooks was. He was asked to run more of a expansive routes.
Yeah. And they were just dumping the ball off to him and be like, okay, I'll be a running back. And some of the plays he made through that, the tackles he broke in, the holes he squeezed through, because of this, he's also able to be elusive and squeeze through holes and get around defenders because of his size, but he can also just like, all right, you're not tackling me. And then so the target share for Brandon Cooks was 26.9%. And then for Rondale Moore, 29%. And then breakout age for Brandon Cooks was 18.9. Rondale Moore was 18.2, which 18.2 breakout age is almost as good as you can get.
Yeah, basically. I'm trying to see if I can get a look at his yards after catch as well. And yards after catch per catch was about 7 yards. So again, it's like you see how much he does. Like 7 yards after the catch, you'll definitely take in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But it just shows you that like he was thrown to oftentimes in traffic.
Mm-hmm. I want to try and find like a target map or something, like where he was targeted. I don't know, but
I have a heat map. I have a heat map that I can show you here. Let me pull that up right quick. You know what I'm saying? There you go. So it's routes versus targets.
All right. Yeah. So he ran routes pretty much on all three sides of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Never too deep. And then his targets all came like within like, all right, here you go. But he has the ability to like get downfield and create separation.
Right.
But you got to think about the offense that was used.
Yeah, basically what he was asked to do is not what a usual team that has somebody of his stature is asking a receiver to do. They're not asking them to run. Like this is a lot of like slant routes, a lot of stuff underneath, drag routes, things like that. You can see a little bit further down the field. Oh, just in terms of like routes run, you could see some of these other like post routes, things like that, but not a lot in terms of like goes, flies, corner routes, things like that. Like they really worked him in the middle of the field, which is not usual for a guy his stature.
And Ross, stop me if you've heard a guy of this stature. His running mate this season, David Bell, and that's a guy. He works well across from a David Bell kind of guy. And David Bell, Ross, 6'3", 210 pounds. Does that ring any bells to you?
Lots of bells. Lots of bells here.
Specifically David Bells.
Specifically David Bells. But I'm just going to say, Michael Thomas, 6'3", 212 when drafted. Traquan Smith, 6'2", 210. And then you look at the first round of this year's draft, that fits a lot of the profile of what we usually see coming out of college, right? Like those are the Justin Jeffersons, the CeeDee Lamb type build guys that are definitely out there and available, that are young, that are cheap, and that maybe a team is looking for a potential running mate for. It's the Amari Coopers, it's the, it's the number one guys, the X receivers that are all around the NFL right now that maybe teams are just looking for a partner for.
Mm-hmm. And he fits that mold.
Devontae Adams.
Yes. Man, Rondale Moore in a Packers.
Rondale Moore to Green Bay? Oh, that would be so
nasty.
Good. That would be so
much
good.
It'd be so much fun to watch. Oh man, I would hate it so much, but it'd be so fun.
That offense would be so good, right? You'd have this great offensive line. They're probably going to franchise tag Aaron Jones. At least they should, because the franchise tag is less than the average contract that they offered him last season, right? Or mid-season rather. So you can franchise tag him for like $8 million and keep him around. And then you have Devontae Adams and Rondale Moore. Come on. And then you have these other guys that can work in the slot. Allen Lazard really came alive there last season. Like, yeah, I think you take that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you definitely do. There's no chance you don't. I was gonna say, Ross. It's part of it's gonna be a thing of like I gotta put my football love first because it's gonna be so much fun watching him. I just really hope he goes to a team that knows how to use him.
Yeah, that'll be the tricky thing is as long as he ends up in a place that doesn't try to turn him into something different.
You mean like a Rondale Moore to like Arizona or something?
Yeah.
Rondale Moore to San Francisco, Ross?
That would be phenomenal. That would be absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, that'd be nasty. Looking at the teams that he's met with so far, Ross, Seahawks would be good if they, keep him.
If they keep Russell Wilson.
They keep Russell Wilson. The 49ers he did meet with. The Jaguars could potentially have been fun, but I don't know about Urban Meyer and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he would be asked to do there, and I don't know how different it would be from what they have in a healthy Laviska Shenault.
Yeah. And then the Chargers would also be awesome.
Chargers would be a really good one. That would be a really good one. Especially too, because you can use them in the slot there. I don't know how many snaps did he take in the slot. Let me see if I have that. Slot catches 28, slot yards 230. So use him a little bit in the slot. Here's another thing too: screen yards. He only had 15 screen catches last year for 110 yards. But that's not, it just goes to show you that they didn't use him at Purdue for his speed. They used him for his ability to catch the ball over the middle. And so you look at a team like Los Angeles that has a lot of different options and a lot of different ways that they can use a guy like Keenan Allen, how they can use a guy like Mike Williams to go up there and make contested catches, 50-50 balls. And then you have a guy like Rondale Moore, who could be like the perfect slot complement to those guys. That's fantastic.
All right, Ross, do you want to hear what Rondale Moore said specifically about his size? and what he's been asked to do.
Yes, please.
All right, it's all up to the player. I don't think size or anything like that really matters. If you have enough tools in your toolbox, you're crafty enough, your intellect of the game is high enough, you know what's going on, you can compete for those 50-50s. You can run by guys. So I think if you have all those intangibles, it doesn't matter if you're 6'5" or 5'10". To me, it's just a mentality.
Oof, I love that. I love that a lot. I love that a lot. It's such a great mentality, right? To where like he's not going to limit himself, but to be able to sort of navigate it and discuss it to that level, to where he has a very clear understanding of like, this is the way that I approach this, and this is the way that I'm clearly like mentally processing this. I think is really good.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, he's going to be really good.
How do you rank the top maybe like 5 or 6 receivers coming into the draft this year?
Oh man. I've been actually thinking about this a lot, Ross.
I know you have.
So let's look at my let's look who would I take. I have my lists that are ever changing.
Mm-hmm.
So let me see. All right, number 1, Ja'Marr Chase.
Rightfully so. He's gotten a lot more attention here recently after that photo of him and Justin Jefferson, and I think it was Devonta Smith actually, all working out together, and he just looks different.
Yeah,
just mad different. It's kind of the DK Metcalf effect that happened just before he was drafted.
So
he's getting a lot of attention.
Number 2, Ross. Jalen Waddle.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Tell me more. Is that a speed conversation, or is that a versatility conversation?
See,
or something
Ross,
really different?
Whenever you hear Jalen Waddle, what is the first thing that you hear?
I always just think of speed immediately.
Ross,
this is my problem with Henry Ruggs too, to where I thought of speed, and then I ended up cutting him short for all the other things that he was good for.
Well, Ross, what if I told you that he's arguably a better route runner than Jerry Jeudy?
Yikes.
He is I'm talking Ross, Justin Jefferson level route runner.
That's pretty good.
Coming out of college. Like he is like elite. And his catch rate is just insane. Like Jalen Waddle it's literally, I heard someone say it and I didn't believe it, but it's literally if you took the best parts of Henry Ruggs and Jerry Jeudy and put them into one receiver.
Oh, that's insane. Yeah, hard to not have him at number 2 then, I imagine.
Yeah, and then Devonta Smith and everything. All 3, Ross, let me tell you right now, interchangeable.
Sure.
The top 3 interchangeable.
Sure. Yeah.
You could say any order of those 3 and I'd believe you. I would agree with you.
Yeah.
Then at number 4, Ross, I personally have Rondale Moore. Because
okay.
I love Rondale Moore.
Mm-hmm.
I've been high on Rondale Moore for so long. Ross is probably tired of hearing his name by now.
Not at all.
I talk about it all the time. I love Rondale Moore. And then at number 5, Ross, I got Kadarius Toney.
Kadarius
Toney. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I was expecting Rashad Bateman in there somewhere.
Rashad Bateman is a little bit lower on my list. I don't know. I just never fell in love with Rashad Bateman, but I haven't watched him in a while, so I just need to refresh maybe.
Yeah.
But I have Rashad below like Terrace. And I don't know. I liked Nico Collins the other day. I liked how much Nico Collins. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, I liked seeing him at the Senior Bowl. I thought he performed pretty well at the Senior Bowl. You know, knocking off a little bit of rust for certain early, but I really liked what he did.
Now if you're asking me and I was a Seahawks scout, I would say my number 1 is probably JD Spielman out of TCU. Just randomly making fun of the Seahawks for no reason.
I love it. And it's not an easy day for any Seahawks. To go back to the Russell Wilson trade real quick, do you think it happens?
No.
I don't think it happens either. I don't think he goes anywhere. Especially with him being like, no, I'm not really trying to get traded, but you know, if the opportunity were to arise, these are the only places I would accept a trade to with there's no trade clause.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, not until I won't believe it until he starts actively, like we start getting news that he is actively like pushing his way out.
Yeah, I'm also Saints gonna offer Taysom 3 first rounders, and Pete and the Seahawks are hanging up the phone mid offer.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh man. Shout out to Devin Booker, Ross, because he is
Yes.
replacing Anthony Davis on the All-Star team. What he should have been above him already.
Word.
He should have been above him already.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we get to see, is Devin Booker playing today? The Suns playing? No, not today.
Uh-huh.
The games that we do have today, unless you have anything else, do we have any other, were there any other interesting draft visits? I don't think so. Any other very interesting draft news breaks?
No, I do have a really good Kevin. There is a really good Kevin Garnett, Michael Jordan story.
Oh, let's do that.
Kevin Garnett says, whenever I see Jordan, he palms my head and says, "Remember the game I gave you 40 and 3/4?" And then he has his sidekick around him, and he's like, "Pull that video up." And then the guy goes and pulls it up, and Kevin Garnett's like, "Who walks around with content?"
Us.
Yeah.
We walk around with content. No, I love that. That's hysterical.
I think my favorite Michael Jordan story is he was out golfing. He went golfing with somebody and had like 10 Miller Lights or something like that. This is a game day.
Mhm.
They had a game later that night, and then he lost golfing, and then of course was like made a bet. It was like, I bet you I'm gonna score 40 and we're gonna win. And the guy was like, "All right, yeah, I'll take it," because Michael Jordan was wasted or something like that. He had drank a lot throughout the day and then lost at golfing, and then he went out and scored 52, and they won the game by like 20 points.
That's so dumb. That's wild, dude. That's absolutely wild.
Man, I kind of want to watch Last Dance again. That was so good.
Michael Jordan stories are fantastic.
I'll never get tired of Jordan stories or Kobe stories. Those are two I could hear the same story a million times, and I'm just always so down.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the oh my goodness, Anthony. I can't remember his name right now for some reason. But anyway, from the actor from Blackish, I can't remember his name for some reason.
Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson, thank you. Yeah, his story about competing with Michael Jordan and dominoes. This is so good. Yeah, incredible stories out there about these guys that have been remarkably competitive at different times. All right, how is everything going on in the world? To wrap us up tonight, we could talk a little college baseball. How's everything panning out in the world of college baseball right now?
Well, today is a Wednesday, and there's not usually a lot of college baseball on Wednesday. But University of Mississippi, Ross, they're not the number one team, and they have a 20-game win streak.
Oh,
going on right now. So that's going on. And yeah, LSU beat the Raging Cajuns last night, Ross. Once again, changing their name to Louisiana Lafayette because they lost to. They cannot be the University of Louisiana after they lose to LSU because Ross, you know how it'd be.
Yeah,
but there were not a lot of masks in that offense in that stadium, and it made me nervous.
Oh,
not a lot of masks, and let me tell you, it was not a very limited crowd.
Yikes!
Over there in Lafayette. Auburn, ranked 21st in the country, Ross, beat Alabama A&M by the score I would imagine if Auburn played Alabama A&M in football. Final score was 33-0.
Holy crap!
They scored 14 points in the fourth inning.
Jesus. Yikes. 33-0?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
And yesterday,
My dog making a special appearance for those of you watching live on video.
Apparently, yesterday the score of the game was 18-2. So, like, Alabama A&M just getting slaughtered.
Jeez.
Just getting
Their
slaughtered.
pitching, their defense all told probably just not very good over there at Alabama A&M, huh?
Oh, and I didn't know this, Ross. Number 10 on Mississippi's baseball team, John Reese Plumlee.
Oh,
and he hit a home run. He hit a home run yesterday.
Huh. Not too bad. Old Two Sport.
Yeah, Two Sport. Probably gonna. I could see him end up being the next Taysom Hill.
Or Nick Fitzgerald, or
yeah, or
what was the
Tommy
guy?
Stevens.
Tommy Stevens, the guy in Baltimore.
Trace McSorley.
Trace McSorley. Yes. Danny Etling for a little while was supposed to be that guy too, for a moment, or at least the Falcons thought he could be.
Yeah, for whatever reason. Yeah, that's crazy. But LSU won 11-2 yesterday, scoring 5 runs in the 9th inning.
Jeez.
Yeah, LSU feeling a little bit better.
Yeah. They're dropping their first game ever to Air Force the other day, or last week.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Don't remind Dylan. We love it. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, talking a little fan-controlled football and having some fun for our Fun Friday. We got to talk the draft, talk about how some of those teams changed and what we're looking for on Saturday. And then we'll get to some fun stuff in the afternoon or the bottom half hour as well. Maybe continue looking at free agency across the NFL as well. So we'll have all that coming up for you tomorrow. We appreciate you for joining us today. And we'll see you then, 5 p.m. Eastern time here, Full Press Radio, Full Press coverage.
All that and a little bit of Lanya.